In this video, I work on doll crazing, cleaning, cracks, and a surprise restringing challenge. I hope you enjoy it, and please be sure to like and subscribe.
Maggie to the rescue!
Hey everybody! Maggie's here with a couple of very special wooden toys. Thank you, Maggie. You can have a seat. And this one is a Show and Hut elephant. And this one is Pinky by Joseph Callis. And today I'm only going to be working on Pinky and the doll that's in this box. But I just wanted you to see the Show and Hut elephant because both of these toys belong to my sister-in-law's mother. She loved dolls too, and when she passed, my sister-in-law surprised me with a box of her mom's wonderful collection. She was a great woman, and so I'm honored to have them and treasure them in my collection. Look at this guy. Isn't this wonderful? So Show and Hut made a whole circus. So the elephant was just part of it, and I think there's a giraffe and clowns and all sorts of wonderful things. Little leather ears, painted eyes. So cute. And articulated legs and even the hooves. Still well strung. And Pinky here was made by Joseph Callis in sort of competition, I believe, with the Cupid doll, and I think he did a great job. Look how cute that face is. So cute. And the shape of the head. And then the all wooden body. So Pinky deserves to have a restringing and to get a little bit cleaned up. I actually love it when antique dolls and toys show their age. It's actually quite beautiful, but I do want to do a little bit of work on this crazing with pastels that I have, and I'm going to use this goop to clean up Pinky a little bit. I've actually never used this before. I've watched other videos that do, so I'm excited to use this. It has such an interesting feel in here. I wish you could feel it. It's almost like silly putties inside, so that'll be interesting to see what that's like. And Maggie's sitting on top of a box I just got, and in it is Pinky's cousin or sister. It's a Margie doll by Cameo, and she needs some restoration. So even though these two are going to stay in my collection, Margie, I will fix her up and get her ready for adoption. Lots of good bubble wrap. That's important. See, her legs are sort of spread out. She's so cute. Oh my gosh, look at that grin. You can see her little teeth. So cute. She looks like maybe she's a little smaller than Pinky. She's strung pretty well. I'm really surprised by that. She doesn't have her tag, that's too bad. But she's a Margie. And I'm gonna put a bow around here. Do you see that indentation? And I did see that she had this, and I might put a little wood filler and see if I can get that in a little bit of a better place. Her face looks sort of matte, and this looks shinier. Look at her little feet. I wonder if her feet were ever a color, or if they were the fleshy color. Let's get her sitting down. Let's see if that'll work. No, I don't think she'll sit down. Let's see if she'll stand up. Oh my gosh, I think she will stand. Oh my gosh. Look how wonderful that is. Come meet Margie, Pinky. I have to put Pinky on the bubble wrap. And Maggie meet Margie. I can hold hands for a second. That is just wonderful. So I will get everything set up and we'll start to do some restoration. I'm going to start with Pinky. He's going to sort of be my experiment. So I already used a little bit of the hand cleaner on the back of him. So it says that it's waterless hand degreaser, laundry stain remover, non-toxic, and biodegradable. So that's awesome. And it has this weird texture. If you've ever used it, you know what I'm talking about. It's like bounces back. So I'm just putting a little bit on a paper towel. A rag might even be better, but I wanted to see what's coming off on the white of the paper towel. Now I've only started on the wood a little bit. I haven't tried the composition yet, and it's great for composition since it doesn't have any water, because water ruins composition. It's really doing a fantastic job because it's keeping the integrity of the original doll and its age, but it's just cleaning it up a little bit. I'm going to avoid the little sticker. Isn't that adorable? Ick. So I'm gonna wipe this down. So far, so good. All right, so I am going to cut Pinky's strings, cord, and then work on parts individually. So the way that Pinky is strung is from a hook in his head, which connects to his legs. See, when I pull his head, the legs go. And then the arms are strung separately. So I'm going to try to do the same. So I have a very interesting development with Pinky, which is that this doesn't have a hole. So from what I can tell, this nail nailed in probably a knot. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. So I have to figure this out. I either have to somehow use this to attach something to, or figure out how to maybe drill a hole in here to be able to string through. It's not going to be as authentic, but at least he'll be restrung. So let me see if she's the same. Let's see. Yes, so see how there's a nail that they would use. It's a little scary. Can you see it? Hold on. Okay. Do you see that nail? So I guess somehow they would nail in the strings so there wouldn't have to be a hole at the end of the arm. I'm gonna have to think about this. So I don't want to damage the arm by drilling or anything like that. So I'm going to think about how to connect another cord to this one, but I'll work on that a bit later in the video. I was just starting to experiment with the goop on Pinky's face, and it's doing excellent. It makes it super shiny though. Where's what I just took off of? This came off of Pinky's face. I'm going to pick a part that's pretty dirty. It's so satisfying to watch this come off. Until today, I always used a magic eraser to get any stains off of composition. So thanks to all those that I've seen on YouTube using goop on composition dolls. Already getting cleaned up. I'm a little afraid to use it on Pinky's eyes, but I'm just gonna try a tiny bit. So far, so good. And on the mouth. Seems good. I'm just doing it kind of lightly though, timidly. Don't want to create a disaster, although I guess I could do a little repaint, but I couldn't do those little eyelashes. So I already did a little on the side of his head, as you can probably tell. It's working great. So what I'm doing is using this Craypa oil pastel and rubbing it into the crazing cracks to fill them in. And then I'm wiping over it so the pastel stays in the cracks, but I'm wiping off the top. I tried chalk pastels and they didn't work as well as the Craypas. What a difference! The crazing is still there, but it really camouflages it beautifully. Interestingly, I think the deeper the crazing, the better this works. Pinky has much deeper crazing than Margie, so I'm wondering if the pastel will even fill in her cracks, but I guess we'll see. So I've done most of this side. See the difference? It's fantastic. I'm going to keep going and do a little more subtle work off camera. That's really quite remarkable. So I'll work on this as well, but I want to get started on Margie. I'm excited. So I found this fascinating article online that Joseph Callis sued another company for making an imitation of Margie. So since this doll doesn't have her sticker, I thought she's one of the imitations, but researching more, I think the imitations have chunkier feet and different arms. Here's the injunction. Isn't that fascinating? And it includes photos of the original 1929 Margie, and I think that's who we have here. And the imitations actually might be worth more to collectors now since they were a limited production due to being sued. So I'm using spackle here because that's what I have, but I think wood filler might be better because spackle doesn't really harden to the same degree as wood filler. Now I'm wiping over it with a dry cloth. I don't want to use a damp cloth because it's composition. And I'm just using my fingers to push in a little spackle here. The other darker areas on her hair, they're just paint missing, so I'll just have to paint over those. Okay, so I figured out how to restring Pinky. I used this thin gauged wire to wrap a thinner elastic cord to the old cord. I did it as tight as I could and it's not slipping off. I strung it through the body and now I'm going to clamp the stretched cord with a hemostat. I've lined up the cord so I can wrap the wire to this side. Of course, since the old cord stretched out in the first place, time will probably do the same thing again, but at least Pinky will be strung nicely for several more years. Pinky is one of my favorite dolls, so I'm really happy that he's going to be able to pose again. I'm just tying a knot to help keep the cord from slipping out under the wire. How about that? The right arm is posing better than the left, but I'm still really pleased. Now it's time to restring the head and legs. Using my hemostats again. They're incredibly useful if you need to restring dolls. And I actually got mine at an estate sale. You know, I think my husband encouraged me to get them, so I'm really glad he did. So I'm not going to do any repaint on Pinky, but I definitely want to try that on Margie. Here we go. Oh, I've never even seen Pinky as anything but slumped over. This is so fantastic. Pinky's standing again. Time for Margie's face. So like I said earlier, the crazing on Margie is very superficial and the pastel might not make any difference, but I just want to give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to try a repaint. So see how the pastel does work here because there's a larger crack for it to fill in. Okay, I'm going to have to try repainting her instead. So I set up to paint her off camera so I could see a lot better, but I did document it for you. For her flesh tone, I didn't even have to mix the paint. I just lucked out on a craft paint that matched really well. The paint is matte, so in places I added some gloss medium, and in other parts I did some glazing with the gloss medium after I'd painted with the matte paint. I repainted her lips too. And the original dolls had eyebrows, so I made a mark with pencil, then used color pencil because that gave me the most control, more than trying to do a single stroke brow with a paintbrush. I did a repaint on her arms and legs as well. Oops, I got pastel on her back. Mystery hole in her head. It's not perfect, but I do think it freshened her up really nicely. Pinky's cheeks are still rosy a bit, but I'm going to brighten them up too. I'm just using a soft cloth and chalk pastels. Sometimes this can actually bring cracks out because it fills them in again. I'm going to add a touch of orange to the pink for Margie. Since her face is more matte, it's a different look than Pinky. So I did find a little outfit for Margie, a little play suit. I'll show you in a second. I like this. She still has a lot of flaws, but hopefully whoever adopts her will see that I put a lot of love into rescuing her. Here's the little play suit. I washed it in OxiClean, but it still has a few stains. And I'll replace her straps with new ribbon. And I'm going to put this sweet little sweater on Pinky. That way you can still see his label. Okay, I'll let you all know my conclusions of these restorations and show you some fun before and afters and the big reveal. They both look adorable. Margie got a pink bow and a ribbon to tie her play suit. So overall, I'm thrilled with how both techniques for camouflaging the crazing came out. And Pinky looks cute in his old handmade sweater. So to remind us, here they are before. And here they are after. I think Margie's repaint hides the crazing better, but Pinky still looks amazing. And both are almost 100 years old, so I'm thrilled to have brought them back to life. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of you. It really means a lot. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to Maggie to the Rescue. I have lots more rescues, restorations, and show and tells to come. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Like and subscribe. Thank you.